All right, folks, welcome into the Cowboys Report live Q&A. Again, use hashtag Cowboys in the comment section. First up is Random Lemon, who says, who's better, Gronk or Witten? Cough, Witten, cough. I'm actually probably still going to go with Gronk if we're being honest here, just because I think that Gronk could still bring it for like the 6 games he'd be able to play before he'd inevitably get hurt. But in terms of like this upcoming year, Gronk's not going to play, so I think there's at least a that doesn't make any sense as a word there. A sensible argument for Jason Witten there. So words fail me early here on the Cowboys Report. So make sure you're using hashtag Cowboys in the comment section here, live on YouTube, live on Facebook. Next up from Taylan Gaston. How about Coop's contract talks? There's not a whole lot going on there right now. We know the Cowboys tend to operate with the deadlines make deals mindset. So what that means is the Cowboys don't feel urgency. The front office doesn't have the same urgency that most front offices do because they're family. They're not going to get fired all of a sudden the next year, and they don't have to necessarily to be super, super urgent. And I think for Cooper, he wants to see what Julio Jones gets. So I think that one will get done, just might be a little bit longer on that front. All right, more questions here coming in. Bobby, who would watch Tom and Mitch fight? I would, at least on replay. I will fight dirty. Mitch is definitely stronger than me, but I think I'm quicker, shiftier. I'm gritty, coach's son type deal, that kind of thing there. All right, Afterlife. Y'all should be drinking Lone Star, but why is my question. Shiner, I know you guys are watching. Hook us up here. Shiner's far better than Lone Star, so hook us up with that little deal on the side, Shiner. All right, from Demo95, has there been any more news about Zeke's suspension? Not right now. I think at some point we'll get updates there. The NFL is investigating, but remember what we learned last time from the Zeke and really any NFL investigation. They take their good old sweet time. It is not going to be done overnight. They're going to drag it out probably, and then they'll finally make a decision. So it is something to monitor. We'll, of course, update you guys anytime we get some news there. And we'll wait and see. For me, it's always at the back of my mind. It's a little bit of a concerning situation. All right, from longtime watcher Val Castillo, why does Mitch have so much blind faith in the Raiders' young guys, but doesn't think our young guys will ever get better? Well, he's a Raiders fan. And I think the same is true for the Cowboys fans, too. Like, you're going to believe in your own guys, right? All right, Chris Jensen, hashtag Cowboys, still a chance we get Eric Berry. I'm saying there's a chance, but I'm also saying it like Jim Carrey said it, because I don't think the medical checked out for Eric Berry, and I think that's why he is still unsigned. I think at this point, don't get your hopes up, Eric Berry. Now, maybe if there's an injury for the Cowboys, like, I don't know, Iloka or Heath get hurt or something unfortunate, maybe that changes, but I don't think the Cowboys have plans right now to sign Eric Berry. From David Blide, who gets into trouble between now and training camp? Last year's T-Will, he asks. Nobody, right? That's the goal. Like, I'm not going to pick a player and say he's going to get into trouble. I hope nobody gets into trouble. They're all on their bestest behavior, and they don't get into any issues at all. That's my goal, at least for the Cowboys, and I think that's all of our goals as well. All right, from Ronnie J, how you feeling about Dak going into the season? Can someone give me my Kool-Aid? That's kind of where we're at right now. I poured out the Kool-Aid, which, I mean, you know, for at least for me, for the Cowboys. I have some belief in Dak Prescott and some optimism here for the Cowboys offense and Dak Prescott, but it's also June. So I feel confident and I feel optimistic, but I'm also cautious on that front because I don't want to just fully buy in and end up with a Dak-friendly offense situation where the offense was decidedly un-Dak-friendly. All right, Buddy Johnson coming off our Raiders-Cowboys debate here. Dallas Cowboys are the world's team, and the Raiders can't make up their minds if they want to stay in California or Vegas. Ooh, shade at Oakland. All right, from Adam, who sent me his name pronunciation last night, and I don't remember what it is, and I'm sorry, Adam, so I'm going to go with Adam K, because I would have gone with the one that I thought it was, and I know that's wrong. So what will make the offense more successful this year than last year? Big things for me. A lot of it falls on the shoulders of Kellen Moore. If he can call a better game, he doesn't have to be Sean McVay in year one. That's an unrealistic expectation. But if he can be a league average coordinator, I think at that point, you're in a lot more success on the Cowboys offense. The red zone needs to be vastly more efficient, and the offense will be better with Travis Frederick being back and fully healthy. Pablo Torres, how many sacks do you think Lawrence would get? In my opinion, he'd get 8. I'd put it over under at 10.5 again. Now, of course, that assumes he plays week 1, which I think he will play in week 1, but he's not going to be able to be truly double-teamed necessarily because there are other good players on the defensive line. So I think the over-under is at 10.5 for Tank, and I actually might lean more towards the over because he is one of the best edges in the NFL. I'm not even going to try that name because I'll botch it, but he's a Shiner Bock guy just like I am. Shiner Bock is the best beer out there. So Shiner, hook me up. I'm on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney. From Golden Heart City 2, well, the Cowboys beat upper-level teams this year in the regular season. They're going to have several chances. They play the Bears, they play the Rams, they play the Patriots as well, so they can do that. I think they'll beat at least one. I also don't know if they're not going to go 16-0, but if they can win 10 or 11, I'm going to be very happy with that. From Jazon Jordan, do you think John Vay Johnson, everyone's favorite UDFA right now, can beat out Allen Hurns? I think he can, but it's not just Allen Hurns for Johnson. And if it comes down to those two, give me the cheaper guy. But it's not just Allen Hurns. It's Tavon Austin. It's Noah Brown. It's Cedric Wilson. It's somehow still Lance Lenoir. It's Jalen Guyton. So Johnson can. Again, it's also minicamp and OTAs. Those are important, but nowhere near as actual training camp and actual preseason games. All right, from Chai Jackson, any news on Randy Gregory? Nothing right now on Gregory. Of course, we'll update for you guys here in whenever we get that news. I am, again, cautiously optimistic that we see Randy Gregory at some point during this NFL season. Of course, that assumes he takes care of himself off the field and puts himself in a good position to come back and be an impact player there for the Cowboys. From Fallen Text, says the Cowboys saw, here's hashtag Cowboys, saw of it on NFL Snapchat. Mistake number 1, don't trust Snapchat. Use the Chat Sports app instead. Of top 12 running backs for the upcoming season, they put Zeke at 3. Who'd they put in front of him? Saquon and, Kamara? Look, I think if you want to group them all together in tiers, that's fine. But, look, Zeke, I think, is the best back in the NFL. How can you not put the guy that led the NFL on rushing through the past 3 years and would have led it in the second had he been, active and not suspended at number 1? That doesn't make any sense to me. All right, Anthony Meatball. Tony Pollard returning punts and kicks. He can. I don't know if the Cowboys are just going to hand him that job. I think they'll take some time on that front. In terms of, the prioritization for Tony Pollard and for the offense and special teams in general, you want to install, get Pollard to speed on the ground game, and then give him some special teams ability. But he did it at Memphis, and he was really good there, so my hope is he does make that big impact for the Cowboys. From M. Hightower, are there any players in position to restructure their contract to create more cap room like players have done in the past? Great question. There are players that can do it. Zach Martin is one. Tyron Smith is another. And Travis Frederick is another as well. Those are the 3 big options there. But right now, I think for those players, the Cowboys are going to wait because there is uncertainty long-term about the health of Tyron and Frederick, and those contracts are actually fairly team-friendly. The Cowboys do not need to do that right now. Now, down the road, they'll do it for DeMarcus Lawrence and others, but for this season, I wouldn't anticipate any. Maybe Zach Martin, but it's still early enough that they probably don't need to. All right, from Jaquan Carter, do you think Joe Jackson will beat Taco Charlton for a roster spot? That is a key battle to watch out for. I think there's Joe Jackson involved there, Kerry Hyder, Charlton, Dorrance Armstrong there as well. So there's a chance, but for now, I'll lean more towards Taco beating out Joe Jackson, at least for the time being. All right, next up here from Terminator Cop1. He asks, what percentage do you have McGovern could beat out Sewell? There's certainly a chance, although McGovern missed minicamp this week because he's banged up. I think that Connor Williams will still be the starter, but I'll put it at 25-30, so certainly plausible. I wouldn't be overly surprised, but I still think Connor Williams is going to be your top guy there on that front in terms of the left guard. And then next year, that's a whole different discussion and story. All right, next up from Landlord, hashtag Cowboys, why can't we turn Noah Brown into a tight end? Great question. I think in particular for the Cowboys, he offers value as a receiver. He's not built like a typical tight end. I like him more as kind of that H-back wide receiver hybrid, the type of player that allows you to be an a receiver and a tight end. But those are the latest Cowboys rumors here. News coming up. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.